Finally, the time has come. I got my ECU back from 550 and now it's time to put it back and go for a test ride. Let's go. Okay, it's time to go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I got a really interesting ride to share with you because I'm finally testing the CRF300L after two upgrades that honestly completely changed the character of the bike. I've been riding this bike since April 2025, it's 8 months now, and I know exactly how it normally behaves, the good parts and the annoying parts. So this test ride really surprised me. So in this video I'm riding with a freshly tuned airbox setup and the stage 1 ECU from 550 Performance. I've heard so many people say this is the upgrade that unlocks the CRF300L, but I always wondered if it was really that big of difference. And after today's ride, yeah, it is. It is different motorcycle. The change is not tiny, it's not maybe I feel something, it's obvious from the first minute.
Ei, tu no, vienkārši perfekti. Vispār nav vēl tur, jā, nu, vienkārši uzspied un viņš iet. Neģorgājās nekas tur. Pirms tam bija tāds ģorgainais tāds.
But before I get deep into the ride impressions, let me talk about something important, the exhaust. Earlier I actually bought a Yoshimura full exhaust. I was excited about it because everyone online talks about how amazing it sounds, how nice it looks, but after riding this entire season with a stock exhaust I realized something: I actually like being quiet. I ride a lot of small forest trails and tracks that go close to private properties, and I really enjoy being able to slip through without drawing attention, without disturbing people or making a lot of noise. There is something really nice about being able to ride peacefully, and the stock exhaust let me do this exactly that. So even though I had the Yoshimura sitting there ready to install, I kept delaying it. The more I rode with the original exhaust, the more I felt like, do I really want to give up this stealth mode? And honestly, I don't. I like being invisible when I need to be. I like that quiet dual sport simplicity. And now comes the crazy part. After tuning the airbox and adding the 550 Performance ECU, the sound improved anyway. The tone became deeper, cleaner and more alive, but still quiet, in good way. It sounds better, but it doesn't scream. It's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm 100% sure that I don't need the Yoshimura. The upgraded airbox gave me the perfect middle ground, better sound, better performance, but still quiet enough to ride unnoticed. And yeah, I'm happy, and I'm keeping the stock exhaust. Alright, so back to how the bike performs. Let me start with the first thing I noticed, which is the throttle response. Before the upgrade, the bike always had that little hesitation, especially at the low RPM. You twist the throttle and sometimes it felt like the engine had to think about it. At low speed, in technical sections, or when you're rolling on or off the throttle in traffic, it could feel a bit jerky or confused. Now that hesitation is gone completely, the throttle feels way more direct and predictable. When I open the throttle, the bike responds instantly without any delay. The difference in low end smoothness is huge. It feels like the ECU finally knows what the engine wants to do. And speaking of low end, the torque feels stronger. I don't need to rev the bike as much anymore. Before I often had to drop a gear, not because I wanted more speed, but because the bike didn't give enough grunt to pull smoothly. Yes, and now after the upgrade it just goes. You open the throttle and the bike pulls with confidence, even at low RPM. Yeah, and this makes the bike feel more relaxed, less stressed and more capable. Another thing that really stood to me was the sound I mentioned earlier. It's not super loud or super anything crazy, but it's different. It's deeper, cleaner, more awake. I can hear the engine breathing better, especially when accelerating. The combination of the airbox tuning and the ECU definitely changed the tone. It's not just a noise, it sounds healthier, like the bike is running the way it's supposed to. It's subtle, but it's real. Another big improvement is how consistent the bike is now. Before, the power delivery sometimes felt uneven. At certain RPM ranges the bike could surge or feel a bit nervous. That's completely gone after the ECU. The power delivery is smooth from idle all the way up. The transition between gears feels better, roll-on acceleration is cleaner, and the whole engine just feels more refined. Something else I noticed during this ride is how much easier the bike is to control in tighter sections. When moving slowly, the old jerky feeling used to make balancing harder. Now I can roll the throttle smoothly, which gives me way more confidence when maneuvering at low speeds or going over obstacles. It almost feels like riding a slightly bigger bike. Still lightweight, still easy to handle, but with a more mature, smoother engine character. And again, I'm not alone on this. A lot of riders who have done this upgrade says the exact same thing. Better throttle, more low-end torque, smoother transitions, and no more surging or stalling. Some even say the bike feels safer because you can predict exactly how it will respond. And I agree. After today's ride, the CRF feels more controllable, especially off-road. Let's talk about cruising speeds. Before, at the steady throttle, the bike sometimes felt like it was floating between fueling changes. Tiny surges, tiny dips, nothing dramatic but enough to notice. With the Stage 1 ECU, that's gone. It holds a steady speed beautifully, it feels smoother, like the engine is finally comfortable doing what it's doing. And about acceleration, it's not night and day like adding 20 horsepower, but it's improved. The mid-range feels stronger and the bike reaches speed quicker. You can feel that little extra punch and that better throttle connection. It makes the bike more enjoyable to ride because the engine feels alive instead of restricted. And the final thing I want to emphasize, the fun factor. This upgrade makes the CRF300L way more fun. The bike feels more responsive, more playful and more predictable. And with the quiet stock exhaust and improved airbox sound, it's the perfect setup for me. Powerful enough, smooth enough, but still stealthy when I need to slide through trails near private property without bothering anyone. So overall, riding with these upgrades, I can easily say this is one of the best modifications you can do to the Honda CRF300L. The bike becomes stronger at the bottom, more predictable and just more enjoyable to ride. And for my riding style, keeping the stock exhaust was absolutely the right choice. Alright guys, that's enough talking for now, and if you enjoyed this kind of content, feel free to like the video, leave a comment or subscribe for more CRF300L.